I am very pleased to have the honor of introducing the former mayor of Haldimand County, a good woman who did her best to help us get through the worst of our nightmare as she was forced every day to confront all the forces working together to destroy the rule of law in our county. Ladies and gentlemen, Marie Traynor.
Premier Dalton McGuinty promised the Six Nations occupation in Caledonia would be over by Christmas 2006. Instead, he bought the Douglas Creek estate property with Ontario taxpayers' money for $15.8 million. Plus, to this day, Premier McGuinty allows Six Nations protesters to live on this property and pays all the bills for the hydro, water, and sewage usage out of our tax dollars.
Shame.
Added to this injustice, you and I and the OPP are not allowed to set foot on this land you and I paid for. The federal government has repeatedly said that Douglas Creek Estates was surrendered and paid for. Since this occupation began, the people from the Six Nations Reserve have also set up 6 illegal smoke shops along Haldimand County roads and Ontario highways. Haldimand County went to court and had 2 of the smoke shops removed that were on private property. The Six Nations chief and council had 1 removed that was on Six Nations Reserve land, and have had another removed that was on land owned by the reserve, but has not yet been made part of the reserve. Chief Montour and his council are working on the removal of the other illegal smoke shop on land that they own that is also not yet part of the reserve. Chief Montour asked me, how are we going to get the province to remove the 2 remaining illegal smoke shops that are on land owned by the province? I said, maybe if we can go hand in hand to the province and say we have removed the illegal smoke shops from our lands, now you, the province, need to do the same. I've given you 2 perfect examples of 2-tier justice. To this day, the illegal smoke shops remain on land owned by the Ontario McGuinty government. Digging up a main road in Caledonia, burning tires in the middle of the main street, throwing a van over a bridge onto the road below, burning down a bridge in the middle of Caledonia, running over a police officer, taking another 2 police officers hostage, beating up and permanently injuring a developer, holding a former premier hostage for several hours, making residents who live in the area show passports issued by protesters in order to go home after searching their cars, etc., etc., etc. If this is what Dalton McGuinty considers peaceful, I would hate to see what he considers violent. I never believed anything like this could ever happen anywhere in Canada, but it did, right in my home community, and this occupation is still being allowed to continue. We have been abandoned by our own provincial government. The people elected to represent us basically say we have no rights in the land of our birth. I do not blame the Six Nations people. A few of them have displayed bad behavior and been allowed to continually break the law, and no one has stopped them. The police were told to stand down and allow crimes to be committed. This two-tier policing has not only harmed those who have been victimized, but it has also made all Six Nations people look bad, because the protesters claim themselves to be the representatives of the Six Nations people. The reason the province can't negotiate a solution to the standoff is they have lost all credibility. The McGuinty government has been lying to the people of Caledonia for 5 years, and the entire province for 8 years now. So why would the Six Nations think they can be trusted? Six Nations have watched the province lie to everyone else. We need a new government, one that will keep their word, because then there is somebody you can talk to, you can make a deal with. McGuinty makes me remember a poem I read about the importance of speaking out against injustice. It was written by Pastor Martin Nemoller. When they came for the communists, I remained silent. I was not a communist. When they locked up the Social Democrats, I remained silent. I was not a Social Democrat. When they came for the trade unionists, I did not speak out. I was not a trade unionist. When they came for the Jews, I remained silent. I wasn't a Jew. When they came for me, there was no one left to speak out. Thank you for listening.